Hey y'all, just wanted to thank you for checking out my video. If you like it, please like and subscribe, and have a great rest of the day. Hey y'all, hope you all are having a great day today. Anyways, today we are doing a quick video on some historic pottery. Things ranging from like 18th, maybe even 17th, 18th, and maybe even some 19th century. We are here at Westmoore Pottery, and we're going to go look around and see what they have, and potentially buy something and go from there. Anyways, stay tuned and how everything goes.
Or wasn't sure which ones you...
Well, I guess I'm coming open-minded. I know I know that last year I came and got a pie form. I guess my fear is it's one of those things to where it's in great shape, it's still in fantastic shape.
Someday it may break.
But that's my fear, is that one day it's going to break unexpectedly. And it's like, well, what do? I know that the one that I had gotten was like 9 3/4 inches wide. And
was it the shallower?
Like it was actually kind of like a deep, it was kind of like a deeper.
Yeah, not that one, because that's an earlier one.
It may have been.
Like this kind of thing.
Yeah, similar to that though. I know that it was, I do a lot of 18th century cooking and stuff. So that's kind of the thing with me. Now, I mean, now it doesn't.
This is 18th century too, which is really high. They call it a high steep pan.
No, I mean,
but that's not so good for pie.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a deep dish thing. I mean, as I said, I'm trying to be open-minded about it though, because I know that for me, you know, I want something that's as versatile as possible.
Yeah.
You know,
You
kind
can
of
use those
open-ended.
deep ones for a small mixing bowl.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and you know, so it's kind of one of those things to where, you know, I don't necessarily have to leave with a pie form.
Yeah, well, just look
You know,
around, and if you are grabbing something that's not 18th century, I'll let you know.
Now,
Right stuff.
I presume.
That's 1600s.
1600s. Okay.
Chances are it would never have lasted into the 1700s. One clue is this purposeful ridging was done a lot on the 1600s.
Okay. Well, that makes sense then. You know, now what would something like this have gone for? This did catch my eye slightly.
This would have just been, you know, a kitchen bowl for anything.
Just a kitchen bowl for anything.
Yeah.
You know, and
just very multi-purpose things. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
And that's good for, you know, stuff you need a little bit more capacity than.
Okay.
Seed pie.
Because I know that for me, it's like I tend to do a lot of pies as well, but I'm also wanting to kind of branch out a little bit in a sense too.
Are you making pie crust too?
Well, I do make my own pie crust too, which is nice. You know,
see, that would be good for mixing the pie crust.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's more what that's used for. You could use it for baking, but there are not a lot of 18th century recipes, not a lot of current recipes either, that call for something that deep.
Yeah, I mean that's the interesting thing. You know, I found all this interesting though. You know, and now this piece right here, I did see earlier that this is a crock pot right here. This piece right here,
used with coals under it, not flame. But coals.
Now, what would this
was
side
just the
piece?
handle, and it was so they could, like, if they had a chunk of wood, they could pick it up with that. That's what I've been told. I almost think it was just style. It does keep it from getting as hot if it's hollow.
Okay.
But, yeah.
I know for me though, I know that my Dutch ovens are pretty big, and I know the one that I got was perfect size.
That's good. Yeah.
Unfortunately, my fingers and hands are too big. It's like, oh gosh darn. So it was like I always found that what I had to do was not necessarily wait an hour, but I found that I had to, you know, wait a few minutes and then get a rag and then you know, kind of put it, you know, kind of use it as a barrier and stuff. You know, linen rag. And
sometimes, I mean, these S-hooks that Jerry makes.
Oh, those are great too, though.
Sometimes you can you pick with 2 of them.
And kind of leverage
Boy,
it.
that's tricky.
Yeah, it's definitely tricky though, you know.
I've had folks in here that are really good at that, but when I try, it's like you got to get it right at the balance point, or else have somebody to grab it as it goes to the top. You should come to this. This is
you know,
Saturday, November 1st, and that probably is the last one I'll host of that. I mean, I'm almost 71 at this point, and I'm getting tired.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that.
They are
though,
both excellent cooks, and even if you're interested in things that are not desserts, they will answer any question you have.
Okay, because I know that I always have questions about this.
Yeah,
so
and they always do that. Karen has worked. Gosh, she started at somewhere in South Carolina, and then she was at Old Salem for a number of years.
Oh yeah.
And then finished her career at Frontier Culture of Virginia. That was always her dream job, was to go there. And she's retired now. I mean, she retired once, and she volunteered so much that they hired her back. And this second retirement, she says she's really staying retired.
Yeah, it's one of those things, you know?
Yeah, Carolyn Dilda was one of the founders of the Historic Cooks of the Catawba Valley. Although she moved out of that area now, but she's extremely good. I always thought of all the cooking classes, presentations that I've seen, they were one of the two most organized that I ever saw. Now, Karen is not exactly organized, but she knows a ton of stuff.
So this piece right here that I see.
And that's just that one. That's
that one right there.
Yeah, that's a baking dish.
That's a nice baking dish and stuff.
That's a good size too.
Okay. Do you happen to know the diameter on that one or the width? I don't want to. I'm afraid to touch the stuff though because it looks really good.
Don't worry about that.
You know.
It's about 10.5 inches.
Okay. Now I know that the one that I had was a little bit wider in the inside, but that's fine. That would actually be a perfect size.
Yeah, that was a more of a flared one.
A flared one and stuff.
Yeah.
But that would be perfectly fine actually.
I mean, I've set them back, but I haven't got enough yet anyway. But this is probably, this is probably the same capacity. It's just more straight. That's probably what you're thinking of. That's more like 9.5.
And this would be for like pies too, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Old Salem, I had one order, I'm not Old Salem, Williamsburg, from them. And then when I dropped that off, they said, we realized you're not going to be around forever. And they said, just save us back any of these you can before you're coming next time.
Oh, gosh.
So I've been kind of sticking them back, but if you need one, I can pull it out because I haven't got nearly.
Well, how much for something like this?
This is $90.
Okay.
It might be a little bigger because of the wider bottom. I don't know, they look the same size. I don't know why this one's 72. I know why, yeah, it is a lot. It's because of the bottom. When you spread it out, you have to have more clay. This is a pound more clay. But
I think that I made up my mind. I'm definitely going to go with this one right here then.
I think you'll like that one.
I know I definitely will too, though. So now here's a weird question for you. Now I know the historic significance and all that stuff, though, but what makes redware?
It's the color, and that comes from iron in the clay.
Okay.
It's the iron content that gives you that. There was red clay just almost everywhere up and down the East Coast.
Yeah.
So that as soon as they could make pottery here, they're using that. And it fires to a lower temperature than like salt glaze. Salt glaze is much higher temperature. Salt glaze, you have to have exactly the right kind of clay because it has to be able to absorb that salt to make a glaze. So that everywhere people settled, they made redware first.
Yeah.
And like 1750, when North Carolina is finally being settled by people's European background who are making pots, New England they're moving from that to salt glaze because they got an earlier start. And when you get more established, you have a little more time to scout around for different clays, build a kiln that will go up to a higher temperature and all that kind of thing.
All the 9 yards.
But it is the red, because this is just a clear glaze over it here.
Okay. Now, as far as the glaze, obviously I know that there's a difference between what they use now.
Yeah, they used to use a lead glaze.
A lead type of glaze back then, and then now they obviously don't for obvious reasons. But
yeah, there are some glazes on the market that I've tried. I haven't tried in probably 10 years, but even then, the glazes they had for earthenware were great over a white earthenware, but over red earthenwares with iron, they would cloud because they'd react with the iron. So I've never found one that was any good. And every potter I know that does redware without using lead, they've all come up with their own recipe. And one thing about lead was an amazing material for potters to work with, even though it was quite toxic. But it had a very wide firing range. Because it had metal in it, would really smooth out easily over a wide range. And this does not have that. I have to be very, very careful with the non-lead glazes. And every potter I know who does them says the same thing. Yeah, they've got a firing range of about 2 degrees, and that's it. Too cooler, it's no good. Hotter, it's no good. So that's why I fire that electrically, is because that's the only kiln I have that I can control to be that even. So,
Now, as far as
the other, like the decorating on it, is all natural clay colors except for the green. And with that, they would like have copper, and even if they were just sanding a broken piece of something made out of copper, that would put green in it. But all the yellows, the oranges, the whites, the off-whites, the different shades of brown, all those were just natural clay colors that they would mix up more liquid and then use it for decorating.
Now, as far as the heating resistance, I mean, with redware
is better.
Redware is the best.
It's not fired as densely, so the heat goes through it. Whereas if I made this out of salt glaze and tried to bake in it, the salt glaze is so dense that this would heat up, but it wouldn't be hot in the middle yet. And it just doesn't do well with ovenware. Now, some potters who use a lower temperature of stoneware with more modern things, it can. You have to always ask. Some of them will say it's fine, but you have to start in a cold oven. Some of them say, no, stick it in a hot oven. But this, hot oven, just stick it in there. You can cook with it at home too. It's good cooking ware. It's really good cooking ware.
Absolutely, though. It's one of those things. It's like I mean, I always find, even though I've been cooking for the better part of 3-4 years, I always find that I'm always learning more and more things, and especially with the pottery and stuff, though. And it's like, thankfully, I've had great people guide me along and all that sorts.
I think most of the cooks are very open about helping others.
And that's what I like, is that there's not a lot of gatekeeping. And the ones that are gatekeeping, it's like, what are you hiding here?
My limit, and this is like Kentucky Fried Chicken, I guess, is I won't give out this glaze recipe.
Oh, yeah.
And I have potters who say, can I get your glaze recipe? Because I can't find anything that works. And that was years of my life formulate that glaze, where I was just doing salt glaze, But that's it. That's the only thing. As far as how to make a certain shape or anything, that's absolutely fine. And I tell them, just come with a list of questions, and I'll help you.
The historic recipes and stuff is like, it's like, I could go look it up, but I know that there's,
some of them are so vague too.
But what my thing is, though, is that I'd say, forget the recipe. I'd rather have your cooking notes.
Yeah.
Those are more valuable to me than the recipe itself and all that sorts. Because I can look up the recipe, on, like, let's say Williamsburg or Old Salem or wherever it may be, but it's the cooking notes that I really mean more to me. It's like, I know that people always come to me about, onion pies and sea pies, and they all look at my YouTube videos and say, oh, I loved how you include your notes in your videos and stuff.
That is good.
And that's kind of what I've made a point to do. It's like, I tell people and say, listen, I'm not here to gatekeep my, my notes and
it's
stuff.
It's like potters who, firing schedules and that kind of thing.
And it's like, I know that some recipes, especially with my onion pie, with how I do it, it calls for 6 tablespoons of water or chicken broth or something, but I say use chicken broth, and it might, even though it says 6 tablespoons, you're going to want to use 10 or 12. Because 6.
Well, onions vary for one thing.
It's kind of one of those things for me, and it's like, use 12 because you won't regret it, because then it also goes into the pie crust as well as it's cooking, and it prevents it from not necessarily burning, but it keeps the crust you know, moisturize in a sense, and
Yeah.
and also the contents of the pie too, you know, and it's like people don't consider that. It's like you don't want it to dry out and taste like cardboard or something or whatever, or your plywood, and it's like, well, you know, because it has an effect on it, and that's what I always tell people and stuff, though, you know. And
now Karen and Carolyn said they may add 1 or 2 more between now and then, but these are the cookbooks they know they're using and getting receipts from, is down to there.
okay.
I've got all of them except for, I don't have this, well, I don't think I have that one either. These 2 I don't own. I've got a lot of cookbooks.
I think that I've heard something good about Martha Washington's cookbook.
Yeah. And then I've got this one, and this is just what I got to do. So you really just need that. And they said there may be 1 or 2 others, but I got that because I'm gonna try to stock those cookbooks for that day, to, you know, for sale too.
Yeah.
But they're pretty good about getting me stuff when I need it.
So this is the Westmoore Pottery right here, as you all can see. Westmoore Pottery, established in 1977. This is the place here in Seagrove, North Carolina. I'm going to make it a point to post their information in the video description as well. So come on over and check them out. Give them a call and see what you find.